Welcome.
Welcome,
Welcome, my baby.
Welcome, my baby.
Thank you so much
for having me. Ngiyabonga kakhulu ngokungamkela into your lovely, beautiful home. I'm seeing a lot of pictures there. Bani labayana? Is this your family? How many children do you have?
That's my family. I've got 4 children, and I've got 5 grandchildren.
Wow.
And there's also Mnake and my better half, permanent one.
Your permanent one. I love it when you say that. I love it. And these in front of us, can you tell us a little bit about what's in front of me?
I've got lots.
These are
where I chose this from. But this one, it represents my life as a newsreader at the SABC. And I was awarded this for Best Presenter, TV News Bulletin. Mm-hmm. It means a lot.
And this was in 2007?
This was in 2007.
Okay.
And from then onwards, I never put in my name.
Okay, for nominations?
For nominations. Okay. I refused.
You refused?
I refused.
You were making what? You were making room for other people?
Room for other people, of course. Yes, there were young ones coming into the industry. Why hog the space?
Yeah.
And then this one, it's the Golden Plumes Awards. It is also very important because I also got this from the SABC. It marked my 3 decades.
Wow.
At the SABC. There were only 2 of us who received this. Myself and Rian Kreyvagen. And also this one, mntanam, ndiyayithanda nalena. Zawuthetha isiXhosa xa ndithetha nawe ngalena. Lena ivela kumphathiswa wezenkcubeko kwiphondo laseMpuma Koloni. Ngale imbasa avakalisa umbulelo ongazenzisiyo ngegalelo lam kuphuhliso lwesiXhosa. It's from my province. For them to recognize my contribution means a lot to me.
I really would love to know more about your financial journey. So I think maybe if we can head out to the back where we're going to have a conversation. Khona sizokwazi kabanzi ngohambo lwakho nokuthi imali uyiphathe kanjani. Iyakuphatha kanjani nawe kube khona abakufundayo abantu eMzansi. Let's go. Sanibonani, dumelang, molweni. I definitely feel like umolweni is the appropriate greeting for this episode. And of course, this is Coffee Conversations with Momentum Corporate. I'm sitting with somebody who's such an icon, such a legend, somebody who is loved dearly by South Africans. Umuntu engikhule ngimbuka endabeni every night ngo 7:30. And I'm speaking about none other than Dr. Mam'Noxolo Grootboom. Mam'Noxolo, thank you so much for having us in your home.
Enkosi kakhulu, and thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with this wonderful team.
When I was told that I'm going to be doing this interview with you, I was like, ngiyamazi Mam'Noxolo ni, ngiyamazi. But kunendlela engingakwazi ngayo. And when I think of that, I think of something that really inspires me about you, which is how you've been able to just keep your private life private. How have you been able to maintain that? Being so big, being such a big brand, being able to maintain your privacy.
Ayanda mtanam, you know very well, the industry we work in is very cruel, in the true sense of the word. And I got to know that firsthand, how cruel it is. And due to the early experiences that I had, I made a conscious decision that my family is my priority. It is my duty to protect them.
I guess as umuntu obekwi journalism bekubalulekile kakhulu for you to protect them, because we also know that journalists get a lot of flack. And journalists can be targeted. So how did you get into journalism, one, and then get to grow in this industry and become this huge household name that you have become? Where did it all start?
When I started at the SABC, I'm not ashamed to say it, I was a typist. Until I joined the news and current affairs program then, asoziyazi wena uncinci, called or ongekazalwa, called Esematheni Takangwaga. And it is in that program that I became a production assistant, that I was introduced to journalists. I did my first story in Pretoria, and we were 2 production assistants, Sidiseng and myself. And Mataitai sent us to that story. And we came back and we wrote that story. And that story went on air. Jonga, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The joy and the fulfillment. When we watched that story on air, when we heard our voices telling millions of South Africans that story about women empowerment.
And la ukhulele khona, Mam'Noxolo, back home, ukhule kanjani? Ukhuliswe ubani?
I was brought up by my grandparents on my mother's side. Oh, the love that they instilled in me is something that I will forever be gracious for, because they planted a seed of love that I kept on planting wherever I go.
26-year-old being thrown into what you were thrown into back then at the SABC, you sound like you were somebody who was very confident. Do you think maybe ukuzazi kwakho nongasabi izwe, nongasabi ukuphila qhamuka komakhulu?
Uyazi abantu abaninzi would think ukuthi xa ndisithi ndikhuliswe ngumakhulu, especially umakhulu notatomkhulu who was a teacher, who were both teachers, you would say, eish, imali, beyidlala abantwana. You'd expect me to be a spoiled brat. No. They still swore you ukuthi umntana kufuneka ebethiwe. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. I just knew from that into okokubana discipline has to be part of my adult life.
So I want to bring this conversation back to money, which is what we're here to talk about.
Yes.
And I want to bring it to culture and how culture has influenced your attitude towards money, especially being raised by abantu abadala, ugogo nomkhulu.
You know, ekhaya, Ayanda, uyayazi mos kwizinto zethu ze-culture, we are all brothers and sisters. If omama bethu notata bethu ngo-brother no sister, thina siblings, we are all brothers and sisters. And I grew up in a very large family. And one thing that still stuck in my mind is that besidla ngotyela esityeni esiyi-1. Let's say, for instance, nina nizayibiza ibranch. Yabona? So umakhulu xa icinga into yokokubana, oh, I'm sure my grandchildren are hungry, then she will call all of us. And then masithi asiphakele phuthu with sour milk in one big dish. And each and everyone won't have a spoon. We will all share that spoon and it will go in circles until we finish eating. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We shared that meal, but we managed to have equal shares. That was the spirit of sharing. The little that you have, there's no reason you can't share with others. And my grandmother had a way of stretching whatever was in the pantry, to be enough for everyone. And I think it goes with their money. So they had a way of stretching their money in such a way that the whole family was fed. And it did not end there. Jonga mna, I was reckless with imali when we were growing up. Jonga sana, you give me 2 cents. Oh, the only thing I think of, amagwinya fat cakes aga Antokazi. And with that 2 cents, I will run to Antokazi's house and I will buy 2 fat cakes. And I think they might have noticed that. And it is when they introduced piggy banks. Umama would say, you are going to save here. And the competition, lower oigcwalisa first, who fills up his piggy box first, will have the pleasure of running to Mam'Noxolo and buy fat cakes whenever any 2 cents that she can spare.
So with saving came rewards.
With saving came rewards, your own saving. Now, how did we end that? Utatomkhulu would make us wash handkerchiefs zakhe and we would get imali. Utatomkhulu would make us wash his socks and we would get money to put into the piggy bank. What would we do with that money in the piggy bank? We are only allowed to slaughter it. Thina besibiza kanjalo, to slaughter it. Besixelelwa uba ihagu yakho uzayixhela ngeChristmas. You know? So we are only allowed to slaughter it closer to Christmas if it's full. And we had the liberty to buy ourselves whatever toy that we want. This is our town, man.
Yeah.
Jonga, emntwaneni ohlala elalini.
Yes,
To go
to
to town
town
is an
was a
outing.
thing. Yeah.
It was the thing.
Yeah.
So we know when the piggy bank is full, uzawuya town sana, and uzawuvunyelwa uba buy this and buy that, whatever you want for yourself. They did not buy gifts, Christmas gifts for us. You bought Christmas gifts for yourself, but they helped you earn money to buy yourself those gifts. I think that was a very good lesson.
So they were practical in how they were teaching you how to engage with money. We find ourselves as this generation, and where we're just unable to have frank, honest conversations about finances and how we handle finances in our homes. How are you handling that in your family?
Uyazi Ayanda ne? Andithi as you grow, as you face life, definitely you have a purpose. You know where you want to get yourself. And you know that one day you want to be hitched. Okay, uyayifumana le boyfriend yakho ne? And you know into yokokubana your purpose will affect your finances somehow. So, before you get hitched, my baby, sit down with your potential permanent. Umxelele into yokokubana jonga ke mntu wam. Uyabona ke njengoba uzawunditshata nje, ndisene-goals that I have not yet achieved. Ungabeka umtshato phakathi. And unfortunately, these goals, zizawufuna imali. They will need money. And I am the only one ekhaya who is able to fulfill that ngemali endinayo. Do you have a problem even if siyatshata, I continue fulfilling these goals and achieve the main purpose that I had? The thing is, communicate. And if you feel into yokokubana kukhona izinto xa uzawutshata ezi-outstanding ongekazenzi ezizawuchaphazela imali, communicate them to your permanent to be. Nivane. And don't be afraid to say, if you feel that those things are very important to you, don't be afraid to say, Ndiyakuthanda, I love you so much. But building my mom and my brothers a house and having a home for myself is very important to me. We can postpone.
As Mama, you touch on something so important, because I think as women generally, when we get into marriage, we we think about all manner of expectations, right? Around, I expect you to be with me. I expect you to not cheat on me. I expect you to spend time with your children. We have all these expectations that are clear to us. But the issue of how we manage and the expectations we have around money is not something that we as women think about, even just from a point of getting into marriage and then understand ukuthi now that sengikulesi sigaba sokuthi ngishare impilo yami nomunye umuntu, kambe izinto zami beyiqondene nami bengisafisa mina ukuthi ngizenze ngizozimeneja kanjani, ngoba bengiyiholela eyami imali eqondene nami, ebhekene nami ney'dingo zami. So njengoba-ke manje sengishona ngale, sefanele ngiyishere yonke lento, ngizoyimeneja kanjani? And I think it's an important conversation because we don't talk about these things. We don't think about them. We don't process them.
Mamela Ayanda, ne? And during that time when I bought my mommy house, I was already working at the SABC. And looking at my salary, I knew in the Kokbana, these are new to get what I'm trying to say. And the reason why I'm doing it is to make sure that my purpose is not a burden to our joint purpose to build and provide for our family.
And ama-will like niyakhuluma ngendaba zama-will, into esi-approach-a kanjani, because we know it's a very difficult subject, especially in our families. Mase sikhuluma ngokufa umuntu engakashoni, kuba inkinga, umuntu engaze acabanga ukuthi ufuna ukumbulala and all of those things. So how were you able to navigate that for yourself and for your family?
Okay. Can I be honest here?
You can be, yes.
My husband has got a will. I don't have a will. He's been harping it on me over and over and over again that Noxolo, draw up your own will, please. And I haven't done it yet.
Is there a reason?
I'm a child of the 60s, man. Yo, iwili into ya after death. I'm not the dying type. But but I think I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
Because at 62, I now realize in Yogokbana, girl, you might have thought that you are not the dying type. But death is our daily companion. You must do your will. The next time we speak, Ayanda, I will have done my will.
I hope so.
I will do it. I'm even ashamed to say, Mtanini, I don't have a will. What am I teaching you? That a will is not important.
Thank you for your honesty.
It is very important.
It's very important.
It is, and I am going to do it.
You spoke earlier on about umusungena emchatweni and how you had this conversation no baba ngendaba zokuthi kunezinto obusafisa ukuzenzela uma and abafowenu ekhaya and all of that. And I just wondered, there's this word or this phrase that's thrown around, black tax, when it comes to indlela esengage ngayo nama families and the expectations that are imposed on us. What's your view on that? Did you ever at any point feel like usukhokha black tax ilana? And do you even think it's justified to call it black tax?
I just hope I'm not going to be crucified by giving you this answer, because it is my honest opinion, because I live it. I don't call it black tax. I call it responsibility. Life is my university. I graduated from a university of hard knocks. And my parents separated at an age when my brothers were still young. And at home, I used to plait people's hair. And with the money that I got, my grandmother encouraged me to save it and keep it. And what did I do with that money? I bought necessities for my two brothers. Is that black tax? No. responsibility.
What are some of the mistakes, financial mistakes, that you think you have made in your financial journey? And if you had a chance to redo them, would you do anything differently?
I'm not boasting when I say to you, up to now, I don't have any financial mistakes
Wow.
that I regret taking due to the steps that I've taken. Because, hey, sana, imali, it was very important at an early age, ebomini bam. When I was saving for my brothers, ngela xesha ndandiqhina abantu, way back at Transkei. So, imali kum was very important. And I knew into yokokubana usebenzisa imali onayo, susebenzisa imali ongenayo.
Yes.
You don't feed your needs, you feed your necessities. That is how I lived. I dressed myself with second-hand jackets. I frequented flea markets and I bought second-hand jackets. And I felt good because everyone was saying, yo, hayi sana lo uyayimosha imali empahleni. Kanti no, bazi
Unemfihlo
ukuthi
yakho.
ndinemfihlo apha. And when they asked me, where do you buy your clothes? Because asizibone itolo. Ndithi ke mna ke kubo, flea markets, second-hand clothes. But hayi mama, And it's true. That's what I did. Not just with clothes, Ayanda mntanam. Even with furniture. Even furniture yam iyarecyclishwa sana endlini. Xa igqobhokile, hamba ndiyothenga imaterial pha. Kukho igama elithi reupholst.
You are nicely settling into your retirement, and South Africans were so sad to see you leave our screens. We were so sad.
Wow.
How is that going, and what do you think you've done differently to get yourself into a place where you've settled into retirement comfortably?
Wow. I was sad too on that day. You know, when I started joining the News and Current Affairs Department in 1986, one of the things that my boss, Umataitai, asked me was, Unai policy, start with 100 rands and forget about it. And make sure into okokubana deducted from your bank. You don't physically have to do ukubhatala installment. And I did that. And I took that policy and I literally forgot about it. Until few years before retirement, I got a call from this insurance house to say, hey, Mrs. Grootboom, your policy is maturing. I was like, hey, ningandihloleli mna, andivani nepolicy, I don't have policy. Hey, wait, check nje bank statements zakho. And he said, remember you took a policy for 1986 with... I said, yes. I even remember nomuntu owandisayinisa yona. That policy has matured.
And I'm sure mawumuqala bekuyimali encane.
Exactly. And yakhula. You see, taking it and forgetting it helped me a lot. And when it paid out, I was like, yo! It was like, yo, ziyaduma, mna nomntu wam sizawurokha nge-retirement. And so that decision to take out that policy, it also helped me a lot. Uyayazi mos i-temptation ukuthi hey nansi imali inintsi masijiwaze masithenge, let's buy this. No, we reinvested.
How important is it that accessibility to information that helps us
simplicity yale financial
kube lula ukuthi abantu bakwazi uku-understanda lezi zinto? Being somebody who for years has advocated for our languages, being somebody who for years has been reading indaba ngesiXhosa, you know, how important is it for accessibility of our people?
All these documents kwezi financial institutions nezi policy insurance policy institutions are written in English. Why don't you have people translate the documents so that noba ngubani ozileyo ozofuna ii-services zenu nimnike nansi document amboyifunda uba kakwazi uyifunda sibafundisile abantwana bethu they will read these documents to us and umuntu ongafundanga is a good listener. They don't underestimate abantu abangafundanga. Umuntu ongafundanga is a good listener. Someone will read the document to them and uza kuyi-absorba le information, but most importantly, he will know apho imali yakhe iyakhona and how imali yakhe izawuhlala kanjani.
I think that's definitely a call to action to financial institutions, and I think it's an important call to action. What is the one piece of advice about finances that somebody's ever given to you that you treasure for life?
Wow. Take care of the pennies.
Take care of the pennies.
Take care of the pennies.
And the
rands will take care of themselves.
Nazo.
Don't spend because you have. Spend because it's a necessity. Ne? Don't be spendthrift. Give when you have to give. A hand that gives is a hand that receives. Spirit of Ubuntu.
Siyazalana. Siyazalana. Thank you so much, Mama. I mean, I don't even want to spoil that by adding on to that. I just want to say to you, thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you so much for your transparency, your honesty. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this time. Thank you for your energy. We love you. We love you dearly. We miss you on our screens. Please do take care of yourself as you embark on this retirement journey now.
Shame.
So please, shame. Please do take care of yourself. Take care of your beautiful self. You're aging gracefully, and we love to see it. So there you have it, Mzansi, Benhlelilana Nomam Dr. Nopolo Grootboom. It's been such an insightful conversation. I'm so honored to have been a part of this conversation as well. Do continue to catch this conversation. It's Coffee Conversations with Momentum Corporate. Follow us on our social media pages, follow us on our socials, and let's continue the conversations in our offices, in our families. Let's continue the conversations with our friends. Asakhane, as inspirishane, you know, njengobuma esho asizalane.
Exactly.
See you next time.